Hey there, bold move makers and closet dwellers who are no longer going to dwell in the closet. It's time for us to once again have a life uncloseted riff and rant. We're going to say screw it. We're kicking down their doors. We're coming out. We're setting ourselves free. And we're going to live our life uncloseted with a little riff and rant. Now, if you remember, last week's riff and rant was all about the fuck it bucket. And we are continuing with part 2 of the fuck it bucket. Last week was all about the things that you needed to put in the bucket that weren't serving you, so to speak. In fact, the question we asked last week is, if I keep doing this, what's the impact it's having on my life that really I need to just say, you need to go in the fuck it bucket, okay? This week, the fuck it bucket is what needs to go in the other positive fuck it bucket so that when you get to the big questions, like happiness at the end of life, all that sort of stuff, you're going to be glad you did it. You let go and say, fuck it, I'm going to do this. So, ready? Shall we get started? The first one is anything that truly excites you, even if other people say, what the hell are you doing? If it truly excites you, you can see how it's going to have impact in your life, and you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you want to do this. It needs to go in the fuck it bucket so you can take the risk and go make it happen. Okay, so that's number one. Another thing I find really helpful to put in the fuck it bucket is anything that you've been curious about, you keep thinking about, you want to go explore, and you haven't been doing it, it probably needs to go in the fuck it bucket and say, let's go do it. Fuck it, I'm going to do it. The third one is anything that has the possibility of building confidence. The possibility that risk is going to make you feel better about yourself, going to make you see something in yourself that you've been trying to pull forward, something that's going to make you go, I am Superman, Superwoman, whatever that is, I'm going to take a stand because I know doing this thing is going to build my confidence. The fourth thing that I like to encourage people to put in the fuck it bucket right after confidence is anything that's going to help you get comfortable in the uncomfortable. Now, we all have things that make us feel really uncomfortable. Okay, I'm going to be real honest. I used to love roller coasters, and now they make me really uncomfortable. But I have 2 late teen, early 20s daughters who still occasionally like to go to the theme parks and like to have their dads go on the roller coasters with them. So for the most part, I'll get on most of them, not all of them, but I have to do it because I want to keep pushing myself to get comfortable in the uncomfortable. Just like when I get on certain stages, I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I'm ready to speak to this group, but it's about being comfortable in the uncomfortable, and that goes in my fuck it bucket because every time I get the chance to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, I grow, I learn, I take risks, and I'm so happy that I did it. The final thing that I like to really, truly throw in, and I know I say really, truly a lot, try to break myself of that habit, but this is a biggie. I really, truly like to throw into the fuck it bucket is anything that I don't want to regret not having done. I don't want to be laying on my deathbed, or I don't want to be laying in there in that cremation place getting ready to be burned up with any regrets. I know that's kind of a morbid thought, what I just said, but seriously, I don't want to be regretful at the end of my days. So the things that I don't want to be regretful about go in my fuck it bucket, and they're the ones that I take the biggest risks on. And how do I get to that? Well, for me, and I don't remember who said this question because I'd love to give them credit, but I know I've heard it along the way in much of the personal development stuff that I've done, but I love this question. Which decision will you least regret? A or B? Yes or no? Fear or not fearful? Think about that question, because every day in every way, almost every moment of our life is about a decision of which decision will you least regret? Will I regret not being myself and saying, today we're talking about a fuck it bucket? Or will I regret saying, today we're going to talk about the things that sometimes we don't really want to do? Hell no. I want to say, today we're going to talk about fuck it buckets, because that's who I am. And I don't want to regret not being myself on my own podcast and helping those who need to hear these kind of messages go, I'm going to put some stuff in my fuck it bucket too. So I hope that's been helpful. Remember, if it's anything that excites you, it needs to go in the fuck it bucket and you need to start going for it. If it's something you're tired of being curious about, if it's something that's going to help you build confidence, if it's something that you want to get comfortable in feeling uncomfortable, you want to get beyond that discomfort, and if it's something you don't want to regret at the end of your days. So that's it. The fuck it bucket last week was about what we want to put in to make room so we can do these other things. This week, the fuck it bucket is about taking action and saying, fuck it, I'm going to do this. And with that, I'm going to say, fuck it, we're done. Have a great week. Can't wait to share another uncloseted story with you in just a few days. And thanks for listening. I'm Rick Clemens.